Hello, I'm Jonasz Rewiński and you're watching Military Mind. Armed conflicts, defense and security, land, sea and air. We've got you covered. Russian attack drones once again crossed into Ukrainian airspace overnight, striking civilian and energy infrastructure. Ukraine's Air Force reported that Moscow launched 111 Shahed-type drones in the latest large-scale assault. In the Dnipro region, 2 people were killed and 3 more wounded. Local officials say the strikes triggered fires and caused significant destruction to residential buildings and transport infrastructure. In Odesa, an energy facility was damaged and 1 employee was wounded. Meanwhile, Russia also came under drone attack that night. In the Tambov region, a Ukrainian drone strike sparked a fire at a local oil depot. In the Voronezh region, Russian air defenses shot down 4 drones, with falling debris slightly damaging several fuel storage tanks. According to regional authorities, which, as we may remember, could mean that the drones were not intercepted at all, because the Russians always say all the drones were shot down and it was just drone debris. Later on, sometimes it turns out that this was not the case. Anyway, there are also emerging signs that Russia has changed the operational base for its strategic bombers, potentially reducing flight time for missile launch sorties. According to Ukrainian sources, Russia relocated 16 Tu-22 M3 bombers, carriers of the Kh-22 and Kh-32 supersonic cruise missiles, from the Far East to the Olenia airfield in the Kola Peninsula. Earlier on the 30th of October, on the 19th of November and the 29th of November, 2 95MS bombers were also observed launching missiles directly from Russia's Far East Amur and Irkutsk regions. Analysts say this indicates that Russia has almost completely changed its missile attack tactics. This could signal preparation for a potential massive missile strike featuring the Kh-22 or Kh-32 missiles. Due to their high altitude, extreme speed and large warheads, these missiles are particularly difficult for air defenses to intercept, despite the relatively low accuracy. Moving on now to the front lines. Ukrainian open-source intelligence project Deep State reports further Russian advances in both Pakrovsk and Myrnohrad. The project also notes the presence of Russian troops near Liman, where they have been setting up ambushes and even installing barbed wire. Ukrainian soldiers on the ground add that fresh Russian units have likely arrived in that sector and that Moscow's forces are attempting to advance northwest of the city. Now, we open today's episode with fresh footage from the front lines, showing tangles of fiber optic cables stretched between trees, sticking out of craters, hanging from broken branches, and literally shrouding whole stretches of woodland. Rather than being remains of old communications infrastructure, they are traces left behind by a new chapter in drone warfare. The Omega Special Operations Center of the National Guard of Ukraine has released a video demonstrating the scale of the use of fiber optic FPV drones. What looked like a small-scale experiment a year ago has now turned into a full-fledged technological ecosystem. On the front lines in Ukraine, Ukrainian drone operators continue to prove the effectiveness of new systems for countering the various emerging air threats. In a historical first, Ukrainian Sting interceptor drones have successfully hit 2 Shahed-238 suicide UAVs that were attempting to attack Ukrainian military positions. The footage released by the unit shows the moment of interception. And you might be wondering, okay, what's so historic about this? Shahed drones get downed all the time, including by interceptor drones. Well, not this one, at least not until recently. The Shahed 238 is a new threat, because it doesn't have a conventional engine. It's actually jet-powered, and that is a problem because it is faster, it is more difficult to shoot down. Luckily, it seems that Ukrainian interceptor drones are catching up, both literally and figuratively. Now, coming up next, we've got footage from a Ukrainian unit showing an attack by a Russian Shahed drone, most likely controlled through online means. The target was a mobile Ukrainian fire group. Footage from the helmet camera of one of the group's servicemen shows the moment the drone hits the vehicle. Thanks to the team's quick response, there were no casualties. The situation clearly demonstrates the importance of training and vigilance on the front line, where even a single drone can pose a deadly threat. And now this kind of proves the point. You've heard the engine of that particular Shahed. That was a normal one, because it sounds a bit like a lawnmower. It's not the faster one. Still, as we've seen, it can be pretty deadly, right? And the Ukrainians, using their reflexes, were able to narrowly escape this explosion that resulted from the hit. Now, we're moving on to another story, and we've got a clip of Ukrainian units delivering a precision strike on the Choda airfield in temporarily occupied Crimea, which is used by Russian forces to launch Shahed kamikaze drones against Ukrainian territory. Now, the footage shows FP2 drones made by the Ukrainian company Firepoint hitting key targets at the airfield. This raid demonstrates the high level of coordination and precision of Ukrainian unmanned aerial units, which are capable of effectively neutralizing threats behind enemy lines while maintaining strategic initiative in the air. On one of the northern sections of the front, Ukrainian aviation once again demonstrated how painful high-precision strikes can be for the enemy units. The published footage shows AASM-250 Hammer guided bombs in action, which literally tear enemy fortifications out of the ground, along with the occupiers' newly arrived reinforcements. Manufactured in France, this weapon's name actually stands for Highly Agile Modular Munition Extended Range, combining raw power with immense sophistication. The Russians once again attempted to fortify their line by setting up dugouts, shelters and positions for their troops. But as soon as their units arrived on site, Ukrainian bombs turned it into chaos. And with this, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. Stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.